Or
there we go.
Just
Your-
click, 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 click.
yeah, or you're part anaconda, which that
What?
I
sounds
fully
radder.
support that theory.
Yeah, it's way cooler.
My anaconda don't want none
Oh
unless
my
you got
gosh.
burgers, son.
Unless you got a popping jaw, son.
I don't even know what to say. How's everybody doing tonight? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to TTRP Theater. My name is Old Curtis, and I am joined once again by these larger-than-life talented actors to present our little piece of an epic known as The Long Strange Trip. This piece of that world, ripped from its side and dipped in the blood of KULT Divinity Lost, is known as Manhattan. It's a big piece of the world, and it unfolds before your very eyes as we play to find out all that we can about these characters and the mysteries of their pasts. They all rely on the trust of a single phrase that we throw around as if we had 1,000 lives. Death is only the beginning. Where did that come from? Is that their new faith? Is it something to rely upon? And while it seems your only choice is to hold on and see what happens, I choose to question the statement and find its truth. If death is the beginning, then each beginning followed a death. Tonight we begin Dream Houses. Chapter 2 is it's the title of Chapter 2. We open with tonight's part of that story called Requiem for the Broken. And all of these folks you see, except for Henry D. Greene, is actually at the Dream House, which is in Vermont. Is that what we decided, or what you decided, Harvey?
Yes, it is in Vermont, deep in the mountains.
Nice. And we're not actually going to start there, however, but that's where they are, because we got to get Henry D. Greene in, as apparently something has going crazy inside my house. But I'm gonna have to change up the music for Henry. That stuff's not gonna go. Bear with me just a moment as I check a few things. What are you guys laughing about? You drive me crazy with that laughing because I never know what it's about.
The Benny.
We
The
have
what?
secrets too.
You have secrets too.
No, all I thought about was.
I don't actually know how it ends.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
exactly what
everyone.
it is.
Every once in a while on TTRP Theater, we have what we call a gremlin.
It's also there. I'm just trying to get myself organized because I didn't have time to do that as I was cutting in the cameras. Henry,
That was my
you
gremlin.
have been going through a lot of different things over the years since we were with you last in full. Speaking of the long strange trip 72. And I'm curious what you might be doing at this given moment. This would be not too long after your conversation with Amari in the dream world, in your dream world that you had created for that event. I saw you.
Begun to put plans into place with my collective. There are ripples that have made themselves apparent within my realm, and I'm likely to be researching which options I have for assistance, whether it be someone from the mortal realm within the illusion, if I need to help awaken someone to the dream, or perhaps some other entities here in limbo.
What does that ritual look like?
Likely, I would be perusing the book of which I've had possession for some time now. It has occurred to me that I do have access to a certain demon, that's not the right word, power of some sort that was kind enough to release itself from me, but still be at my beck and call. Although I'm not sure that that's the thing that I want to involve in this situation.
That thought that crosses your mind often.
Often? No, not often. I do my best not to think about that. I do keep it in my back pocket, though.
Let's roll plus soul while you look in your book. Oh, wait. Do you have an artifact roll for that, don't you? Or
I do.
did on the old Henry, perhaps?
It's still a soul roll.
Yes, I believe.
Well, a 23, I think, does it well.
Yes, it does. All right, I think I got that fixed. Sorry about that. I looked a little distracted. That's a pretty good roll, Henry. However, the thought sort of might cross your mind at this particular moment while you're reading through the book of that, I don't know, debt, deal, however you want to frame it. And agreement, and the illusion shifts around you, kind enough to keep your chair. However, you're in a new study, not yours, and a person, I use that term lightly, sits across from you in their own easy chair.
Do I recognize this person?
Did you ever meet the monarch? From
No, I don't believe that I did.
the top of the monarch apartments. You could like him. Slick back hair. He's wearing a suit that is out of style. It is white and blue vertical pinstripes jacket and slacks. The pinstripes are about 1 inch in width, so there's a lot of them. It's kind of busy and it's vertical. And he's a rather tall guy, so there's a lot of stripe. And a gold, a chain around his neck and finger and rings, and he grins at you. Mr. Greene, so glad we finally get a chance to meet.
Well, I must say I do not know you, sir, but you seem to know me. Henry D. Greene Esq. And
Yes.
I reach out my hand to shake his hand. Am I close enough? Are we like sitting across a table from each other?
There's no table in between. There's enough space that you would have had to stand up to reach his hand, but your distance comes together when you start to make that happen, and you are then close enough to shake hands without having to actually get up.
And I shake his hand. And you are?
Oh, I'm the monarch. I've been following you. I'm a friend of Rupert's.
Well, I apologize. He must have failed to mention you.
Yes, he keeps a lot close to the chest. You have some very powerful enemies. Did you know that? Are you aware of that, Mr. Greene?
Well, it depends on which ones you're speaking of. Those that I know of or those that I do not.
Wow.
I do not fear the ones that I know of, so either you are over-assuming their power, as you put it, or you are referring to those that I do not know. Please enlighten me.
I know that you carry around one with you. And I know that, well, you've gotten yourself involved with Winston and crew. At least at some point in time, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Hmm.
And what interest do you have in them?
Oh. I just get the pleasure of being the messenger in this particular case, you see, because I get to get rid of you for a while and send you back.
Forgive me,
You'll find yourself a little helpless feeling for a while, and it will pass, I'm sure.
as in, you plan to overpower me and imprison me in some way, shape, or form.
No, but I did find out who's in charge of all this. And thus, that gives me some power over you. Isn't that nice? And
Well, it's all a little vague. I wouldn't call it nice.
All of your web that you've weaved, I get to play around in for a while you're gone. I'm sure you'll be back. We're all expecting it. They're all expecting it. I like to consider myself part of the team.
And which team is that?
Oh, I'm sure you'll find out soon enough. And I wouldn't want to give a smart man like you too much information. This is just sort of, I don't know, my own little, cat playing with his toy sort of moment. Before you get inextricably pulled away, which is what happens in your confusion. We're going to do my little twisteroo that I like to do. And in the moment, we're going to jump back to the house. In this moment, we're jumping back to the house. That's what I meant to say. And as you all have arrived at this particular dream house and are just in your moment of reeling or whatever it might be, I don't know if that's the right word, but you're all still in a state, I would assume. This is your dropping in. And when you land, Amari, the world that you see looks as if it was done up in an expressionist painting. It does not look clear. Not necessarily blurry per se, but sort of with a weird filter on it that gives it sort of a broken type of appearance. And you also feel nauseous. And I would like for you to keep it together because you are no longer in your world of comfort. You have landed in Elysium, a place that you have not been in a very, very long time.
That would be a 19.
19. So you feel a little nauseous, but that is pretty much it. However, you are going to fall asleep.
Right now?
Yes.
Right here?
Yes.
In the yard?
Yep. It's going to appear as if you've blacked out. That's what they will think. You have not, however. You haven't had real sleep in your body in a long, long time. So there will be some confusion when you wake up, but you are actually sleeping. And when you go to sleep, you immediately start to dream, as you would expect. And you arrive in, he just blacked out. It's okay. It's gonna be Henry D. Greene's world. I was gonna clip that little yellow thing off the edge of his deal. There we go. Got that fixed. Henry, you're gonna leave from the Monarch. You're gonna go to a place that is familiar yet uncomfortable to you. I don't know what that place is. I'm gonna let you come up with it. That is where you will run into Amari, who is going to look a bit confused and distressed, probably. But I will let her try to sort that out. Any questions before I throw you two together?
No.
And Henry, where might you all land? Waffle House?
There are 2 Adirondack chairs sitting on the edge of a small pond under a maple tree. Green grass. Mountains off in the distance.
That doesn't sound so bad.
Why, hello again.
Hi. Hello. I go and plop down into the chair, obviously exhausted. So, what do you want this time?
Oh, I did not summon you here. I assumed that you had brought me to you. Is that not the case?
I guess. I mean, yeah. I don't want. Why you?
I typically prefer to be able to answer questions like that, but unfortunately I cannot.
So what's with your boy, Harvey? What is happening here?
Harvey is not my boy. Harvey is a man. A powerful man at that. And again, I thought we had an agreement that you were going to leave them be.
I tried, but someone had other plans and plucked me from the air and dropped me.
Do you know who that is?
No. Do you know? I didn't get a good look at his face. He was too far away.
I have an inkling.
Will you tell me?
Does the name The Monarch mean anything to you?
Curtis does it.
Nope.
No.
Well, honestly, not me either. But for whatever reason, they do seem to have a hand in this. Whether it's yours, whether it was what affected you or not, I do not know. Where are we?
I don't know. I haven't been here before. Do you know? Well, I guess you don't. You asked the question, obviously.
I'm going to attempt to reach out just gently and see if I can't change the color of the leaves on the tree.
Are you using something specific? Not that changes.
A little
what
dream
you wanna
magic.
do.
If I'm allowed.
Yes.
I don't know if it will work here or not.
that will be able to determine it.
Well, that would be an 8.
It does not work, but it is not because you didn't accomplish what you wanted to accomplish. It's because you are not in a dream world.
Does it give me a sense of where I am or where we are?
Surprise you, Henry? Are you startled?
A touch, yes.
To make you a bit uncomfortable? You look around, and up on the hill in the trees behind you, you see a 2-story house. Sort of, I don't know, what is that? Sort of an odd light green color or something. Perhaps it's a different color. That's the one I put up the picture, but it's actually Harvey's dream house. Ish. That's what we're calling it.
Henry turns, and as he's looking at the house and kind of looking around the landscape, he turns to Amari. Yes, I think I do know this place.
Do you know the name Sasha?
I do.
I was trying to find him, and I brought everybody here instead. But Sasha's dead, right?
That is news to me.
Mm.
If Sasha is dead, then, well, and I sit back in my chair and cross my hands in my lap and twiddle my thumbs a bit, stare at the ground. Well, that will change things dramatically.
Hmm. Like how? What am I involved in now?
I do not know. I wish that I could tell you. None of this has anything to do with anything that I had planned previously. I did not expect to come back to Elysium anytime soon. And yet, it seems I find myself here. Not by my own power. And, according to you, not by yours.
Don't. I think it's mine. I'm so tired. I didn't think opening a portal would take this much out of me.
Amari, when he mentions Elysium, this twist between you being in front of him and being in there asleep starts to break you up, and you realize that your time here with Henry is going to end any second. Henry, she's flickering like a TV going out.
You said you open portals.
I do open portals. You still willing to do me a favor?
Why, yes. Yes, I am.
Am I still disappearing? Do I have
seconds?
I think I want to say that I overheard them say, call this person the doctor. I want to find him.
The doctor, as in Ernest Kennedy, the doctor.
Are there two doctors or are they one and the same?
There are two.
How can I call upon you again? I don't have a lot of time. I'm too tired to think of questions.
Well, perhaps you show me your trick.
Right
No, I don't mean now, but when you need me.
now. Fine. I'll find you. I'll open a portal to you. And I'll have a list of questions.
I anxiously await your return.
Inside the house, Amari has fallen over. You all have arrived there in this moment, in whatever state you were in. So I will sort of open the floor as to who does what when you all land in this house or on the front porch. How about Harvey? How are you in this moment? What are you?
I've kind of shut down for the moment. I'm just sitting at the top step of the porch. And did Sasha's buddy come with us? Is it still with me?
Did you have you were touching it?
Yeah.
It's, yeah, right there. If you were holding it, then when you land, you will still be holding it.
Yeah, I'm just holding him.
How about Blythe?
Mad still. If I can't get like off the property, I'm just making laps.
Oh, that's
like
right.
around the house.
You ran away and
Yeah.
then fell over, and you're now riding around on the horse, I suppose. The
I
horse will
wanted
take you
to.
anywhere, but off the property, there's woods that surround any open areas. It won't go into those. And if you tried to go into those, you wouldn't get very far. Would you have tried to go into those?
Yeah, if I thought it would get me as far away from here as possible.
All right. Well, hold that thought then. Is anybody going to do anything with Amari, or do you all just kind of look at her, flop over, and be like, oh?
I mean, I would go check for a pulse. Just make sure we don't have 2 dead bodies on our hands. Is she breathing? is she good?
She is breathing, yes. She is sleeping. She kind of...
I'm very cute when I sleep. You look adorable.
Yeah.
I would help try to take her to the couch and lay her down.
All right. Well,
And then I would go searching for a shovel.
For a shovel. Okay. Well, we'll get to that. Then here's the situation. We're going to cut to Blythe, but Henry, after Amari fades and you have the chance to sit and contemplate or look around, looking back at the house, you will then notice that there are people on the front porch, and you're probably a decent distance away, a couple 100 yards, so you can't really make them out, but I would say you might have a good sense of it. And they're doing that they just described, so you can make your approach as you will, but I want to deal with Blythe and the woods first. When you go into the woods, Blythe, it is, and I like this because it can play on your young mentality, it's like the Harry Potter woods. Immediately dark, no No pretty trees. Creepy, odd sounding creatures. Bad ambience. And I need you to... Oh, I don't know. I don't know. What do you do? Does this sort of thing scare you at all? This is meant to be scary.
It's meant to be scary.
But
She recognizes that. But
Okay.
no, I think she's too in her own head right now to really realize where she's at, what's going on, and the possible dangers that are out there.
What dangers does she worry about?
A few. Now that,
What's the
well,
worst?
her wings don't really work. The one being obviously the doctor. That's really her biggest fear. She just wants to be rid of him.
What would you do if he was standing in front of you? The horse won't go in, so you're on foot at this point.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll let you get 10 minutes in. So you're completely surrounded.
Mm-hmm. Man, if he was right in front of me. Is he right in front of me? Is that what you're getting at?
Yeah. He is. As you look around in your fear and come back center, he stands in your path. Where do you think you're going?
Away. What the fuck do you care?
You haven't figured it out yet. You can't go away. There is no away. And Greene was wise to bring you here, but you'll not get any further than where you're at. And then you're in my world. Do you want to come over? Come home? Or just let me have those wings, perhaps?
No. I've been in your world before. I can take care of myself. And it's definitely not home.
I don't know if you can. I don't know if you trust any of this. Keep it together for me, Blythe, as he reminds you of a handful of deaths that you have suffered and come back from. Tortures. You can see Sasha rescuing you several times. The whole group rescuing you several times from various different circumstances. Every time felt new and original.
I did not keep it together very well.
No, and with a 9, that means I get control. And you slink back to the horse. And because this is so upsetting, and because now the fear of the doctor is almost absolute, you don't even ride the horse back. You walk it back to the house.
Yeah. Blythe will just come back, take her time, If they're still outside, they'll see her just silently crying, her face red from all the tears that she's cried within the past 24 hours. Fear and anger and sadness just very plain on her face.
Amari's going to be waking up. Henry, I'm assuming you walked up to the house, but you of
assumed
course,
wrong.
could make a different choice. So what did you decide to do?
Henry is just sitting in the chair, watching the pond, the water ripple. There's a turtle
Well, you'll be the first one
not far
to see,
down the shore.
You'll be the first one to see Blythe then, because she has to cross by the pond to get to the house. So I doubt that she notices you. Her head is probably down, and the horse is likely leading her back to the house in reality. So do you do anything when you see Blythe come by?
Well, if the horse is leading the way, it is quite an odd sight. I likely would turn my chair around to watch the goings on.
I mean, they're walking side by side, but she's just sort of doing that, down crying thing. So she's really just walking beside the horse, and the horse is going in the right direction.
Still observing.
Then they go up to the house. For those of you in the house, you can have a moment to talk or whatever. Amari's going to be waking up. At this point is probably when Jerry is rummaging around looking for a shovel. Harvey might know where one is.
You said Harvey might know?
It's Harvey's house.
Jerry's not asking Harvey anything right now.
Okay, I'm just...
He will fail at finding a shovel, I guess.
I imagine that there is a garage and a tool shed kind of close to the property.
Likely. Yeah, well, there's a garage attached for sure.
Yeah, Jerry's checking any garage or barn-like structure.
So Jerry's looking around for a shovel. This is roleplay moment.
I'm just leaned up
He's
against
failing at it, so he's like walking back through the house and probably distressed over the whole situation. So I'm going to say that he's even rambling, sort of walking around as he's going around, kind of not in a real focused search, but hoping that he stumbles across the shovels.
I'm just leaned up against the railing of the porch, staring out across the scenery. Kind of, it's like a standing guard position, but you can tell by the way that I'm leaned up against it that I'm really probably not going to do anything or be too much help because my eyes are just kind of glazed over as I stare out across the distance.
The prettiest part of the scenery is the pond that's straight out from that big bay window there off the edge of the porch, or off the porch. And down by the pond are a set of Adirondack chairs, a couple of those little table thingies in between them. And there's a person. You also see Blythe coming back with the horse. But yeah, there's somebody sitting in one of those chairs.
I move down off the porch. Is Harvey still sitting on the porch with Sasha's body?
I'm not sure. And Kennedy,
Yeah,
what are you doing?
I moved to the side of the top stair when Jerry was pacing back and forth, but that's all I've moved.
Is Dr. K still on the porch or where'd he go?
Yeah, Dr. Kennedy is having himself a seat.
Cool.
Jerry passes by and you just hear all these fucking horses. You'd assume there'd be a shovel to pick up the goddamn shit. Just keeps moving on.
I move past Harvey down onto the ground, and my eyes are locked on whoever is sitting in that chair now that I've kind of noticed them. What do we do, guys? Where are we?
Harvey, you've heard Sasha talk about this house. You guys have talked about this house. You didn't know that he bought one.
Yeah. I've kind of figured out where we are just by the look of the yard. The horses. There's probably a couple of dogs. The pond. I haven't actually looked at the house yet, though. I'm not really looking at anything. But with a slow voice that's hoarse and doesn't quite sound like Harvey, I say, Vermont.
Okay, why are we in Vermont?
Don't know.
Okay. Do we know who the person is sitting in the chairs over there?
I don't even look up. I just shrug.
Okay. And Joel kind of glances back at the two of them sitting on the porch. Well, I guess I'll go check it out, make sure we're safe for now, and I don't know. I don't know what to do from here, or why we're in Vermont, or who that chick is, but we're gonna have to do something, guys.
Probably.
Okay. And I start patting my jeans for a gun. Do I have a gun? Do I have any form of weaponry?
No.
Cool. Joel just kind of sighs defeated and just sighs again and then glances at the two of them one last time as if she's worried about leaving them alone, but doesn't know what else to do at this point. And if nobody says anything, then I'll just turn and start walking towards Henry D. Greene.
Jerry, you eventually make your way over to the horse barn. Thanks for the shout out there, T-Dorf. Gave me the horse barn idea. There was shed something, you would have found it eventually. You get the shovel, and then you hear this wheezing sort of sound coming from behind you in one of the stalls.
Wheezing?
Wheezing. Labored breathing. Kind of like reminds you of like one of that's on your beat as a cop. There was this old guy that used to drive around in this hover round, and you would run into him occasionally at the what do they call those? The bodego, where you picked up your smokes sort of a regular little spot. You know, it had the O2 tank tubes and stuff like that. It was always sort of got this wheezing sound. It's that kind of a wheezing sound.
Have I found a shovel?
You have. It is when you land your hand on the shovel that you
Okay.
notice. Yeah.
Well, I pick up the shovel and I go over to the stall that I hear the noises, and I just kind of peek over.
It is a very large, fixed-armed, fat thing that you all know as the swap dealer. And he's sort of wet looking, likely sweat, although it's not really that hot here. And looks at you with these black and bloodshot eyes, if there's any white on them at all. You look surprised.
Yeah, I didn't expect to see something this disgusting in a horse barn.
Me or the shovel?
Shovels are pretty normal to me.
It was a joke. Yes, never mind. You don't remember, do you?
Remember what, Chief?
We made a swap, Morgan. You remember now?
Why'd you just call me by my middle name?
I see how it is. You're gonna play that game with me like you don't know what's going on. I want to get what's mine before he takes all of it away from me. Yeah.
What's yours?
Winston, of course.
Harvey?
Don't play dumb with me.
He's yours?
Are you going to do it or not? Do I need to send in my debt collectors?
Listen, my guy.
I hate
I don't
this
know who
place.
the fuck you are. I don't know why the hell you're in this barn. I'm looking for a shovel to bury my friend. So unless you're about to explain everything like I'm a 6-year-old child who doesn't understand the world, shut the fuck up and let me do what I'm gonna do.
Very well. Go dig your hole. I'll get some more. You stay or go?
Jerry just walks out and goes straight to the group. So there's a nasty looking 6-armed blob of a thing in the barn talking about swapping things, and he seems to want you, Harvey. I don't know what the hell's going on.
That's nice.
I'm pretty confused about the whole thing. I was really just looking for a shovel.
Okay.
Let's see what happens between Joel and Henry D. Greene. Congrats on the 1 point.
You see An older gentleman, salt and pepper coiffed hair, a very trimmed down salt and pepper beard, stubble beard. Very obviously expensive suit. Shirt, 2 buttons undone, no tie. A small pendant hanging around, a thin gold chain. And these just beautiful alligator shoes. Sitting in the Adirondack chair. Good afternoon.
Hi. And Joel kind of stops walking wherever she, he starts talking, she stops walking. Is this your property or?
Well, not technically, no.
Okay.
You're Joel, yes? Joel?
Yeah, it's Joel. And her eye twitches just a little bit. Who are you and how do you know who I am?
Oh, forgive me. And I stand up and extend my hand. I'm Henry D. Greene. We've met before.
I don't
briefly.
shake your hand. I do not shake your hand. I kind of square up with you a little bit. Yeah, memory's a little fuzzy these days. Would you like to explain a little further?
That seems to be common here for some reason. Explanations, they will take time. Just know that we have met. It's been a while, but I would say that our last meeting wasn't necessarily amicable, but I am here with no ill intentions.
So then why are you here?
I'm unsure. Perhaps if, well, now that I know it's you that's here, I assume the rest of your friends are all of them.
Joel looks a little watery-eyed and she turns away from you. Yeah, most of them.
I assume you speak of Sasha. I have just gotten news of his passing. You two were very close. My condolences.
Yeah, well. We'll find him. We'll do something. And it'll be fine. So if your intentions are ill-willed, why are you here?
No, they are not. I do not know why I'm here. But now that I know that you and your friends are here, perhaps we could all put our heads together and figure something out.
Joel visibly is uncomfortable with that thought. And she just turns around on her heel and starts walking back towards the house. Is Blythe like passed at some point and gone forth, or?
Yeah, I'll say that you run into her about the same time.
Oh, I would say I'm at the house. Horse.
Oh yeah, I don't know if she went in, but yeah.
Horse be gone.
Horse be gone. I'm just there.
I just start walking back towards the house. Don't bother to look to see if he's following or not.
I would let you get several steps and then follow you.
Dr. Kennedy, what did you say you were doing?
He's having a sit down.
Yeah. He's in a comfy chair on the porch, also just kind of looking out over the property. sitting in silence. He'll occasionally look at the back of Harvey's head.
I can only imagine what clouds your mind at the moment. Only interrupted by the brief thought of who is that following Joel back from the pond. And in those thoughts of Sasha, you get lost in them, and they become almost real to the point of it, well, in this scene, being real. For just a bit, Duke, you're going to be Sasha. You don't know why you are where you are, but you see the house that you and Harvey have talked about before, and you don't see anybody on the porch except Dr. Kennedy, who seems quite miserable. You're at the bottom of the steps. He's up on one of the chairs on the porch. Who does what?
And it's like I just appeared there?
Yes, you had been climbing down the mountain to help the cliff's edge. The rocks. I keep thinking of it as the place where Kirk fights all the bad guys. That's where you were. You know you fell. You know you cracked your head. You even think that you might be dead. But here you are, and there's Dr. Kennedy. It smells like maple syrup.
Where are we, Ernie?
Vermont, apparently.
Yeah, I know this place.
You do.
Yeah. Where's everybody else?
They're here, but not. Are you here?
What kind of question is that? Or I don't. I'm confused. I don't know. Are you here?
If one of us were, I feel like almost every one of the group would prefer it be you rather than me.
So you're not dead?
Not yet. Sasha, what do I say to Mr. Winston?
Is he there?
That is a difficult question to answer because yes, but very much no.
Just tell him that I love him. Okay. That's all.
You know that's not enough.
Ernie, you can't possibly express to him what it is that I need to express to him. So please, just for once in your fucking life, do me a favor. And just tell him that I love him.
Sasha, you don't know how much I wish I could do more than that. The things that I put you through. I can't make amends for it. There's nothing I can do now. All we tried to pull Blythe back, everything failed. I know that there is nothing that I can do. I can't apologize enough. I'll do that for you, of course. But is there anything else that I can do for you?
Not for me, no. But you help them. Every time you take a turn and you think that you can gain, check that and say, can they gain? That's what you can do for me.
Till my dying breath and beyond, if ever I can.
Sasha, you are standing on a rooftop in Manhattan, looking out across the city. It's dark. You're looking at the city lights. You hear the door open behind you to the access to the roof. It's a familiar sound. It doesn't frighten you at all. You hear familiar steps, and then a very familiar and loving voice from behind you as Harvey Winston says, "We think we know where she is. You ready?" And that's where his scene fades out. And we go back to the house. And it is well, you're all on the porch. You've all walked back. Henry is approaching. Jerry has found the shovel and has just told everybody about the weirdo in the barn as he stands there with a shovel in his hand. And here's the plan. You can ask questions. You can try to sort out any mystery that you want to amongst your group. You can discuss whatever it is that you want to discuss. Do whatever it is you want to do. I'm not planning on taking us to break because technically we only have about a half an hour or so left before official showtime ends. So I'm going to let you guys have your scene as long as you want to take it to discuss the things that you want to discuss and do the things that you want to do. So this is your moment. If you have hooks or anything like that, or want to discuss the burial or do the burial, any of that can be done during this time. So as you are all on the porch and Henry's walking up, he'll get a beat or two before he can get in, or maybe it's silent until he approaches. I'm not sure, but the stage is yours.
Joel comes walking up with Henry D. Greene on her tail. And she looks around at everybody kind of standing. Is Blythe present? Like, is she like slumped at the porch, or what is she doing?
Yeah, she's
Uh,
within earshot around there somewhere at least. Blythe, where are you?
Yeah. Is there a banister like around the porch, like a railing?
Yes.
Typical Blythe would be on that, sitting.
Hey, found out who was sitting by the pond.
That's nice.
And Jerry, you found a shovel.
Not the only thing I found, but we can talk about that later. Harvey, I know you probably don't want to talk at all.
Not really.
But I wanted to ask you if you would like to pick out a spot for me to dig.
I don't know, by a tree.
By a tree?
Yeah, by a tree.
Get to it. And Jerry turns to Ernie. Doc, you mind giving me a hand in a second?
Sorry, what?
Do you mind giving me a hand in a second? I'll be down by that oak tree by the pond.
I'll,
Take your time. It's fine. I'll get started.
Thank you, Detective.
Absolutely. Jerry just kind of awkwardly nods and heads off that way.
Mr. Winston, I'm not certain if what I just experienced is even real. If it was, then he wants me to tell you that he loves you very much.
I pause for a moment, and it's the first time I've looked up since we've gotten here, and I look over at Dr. Kennedy. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I know. Thanks. Can I, Ernie, can I call you that? Ernie.
It's never stopped you before.
No, not really. I don't know why I asked that. He never hated you, you know?
I find that quite difficult.
No, he talked a lot of shit, but he never hated anyone. No, I don't know why I'm talking about him in past tense. He loves people, you know, he loves them. And I don't know if he loves you specifically, but he doesn't. Anytime we came across a problem, anytime something was weird or strange or felt out of place, or the illusion was falling, or there was things in the barn or strange fuckers in suits by the lawn, the first thing he said was, we have to We to call Ernie. To call Ernie. Ernie has the answers to everything. And yeah, he doesn't hate you.
I really can't tell you how much that means to me, Mr. Winston. Because of the things I did to that boy.
Yeah, well, you never killed him. Not that I know of, and if you did, please just don't tell me.
You know, all of the work that I did after we lost Blythe the first time, none of it could fix it. I don't know how she's back. It wasn't anything that I did. Otherwise, I would already be doing it for him. You know that, right?
Yeah, it took years. It took years to get her back. I just don't know if I have it in me to wait years to get him. I'm all out of years.
You know that's not true. But I understand the feeling.
So what? You're just gonna give up? This is the first time Blythe has spoken to the group.
I talked to someone in my head, and they said he's gone.
And how many times have they fucking lied to us?
I don't buy it.
You're gonna just give up. That's it. We're not gonna. So what? We spent years looking for Blythe. Look, we found her. She's here. And you're just gonna roll over like a fucking dog and take it? Harvey, I don't buy that shit. He was fucking family. And your family, and she points at Dr. K, and she looks at Blythe.
Can you maybe give it a minute? Okay, this just happened. Do
you think you're
twice in the span of what, an hour? and we're here, and this. Do you know where we are? Do you really grasp where we are right now? Vermont, dogs, horses. Have you guys gone inside the house? Have you even seen? There's room for each and every one of you here. This is our house. We're in our house, and of course, I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna. Blythe, can I talk to you for a minute? And I just completely 360 from this like emotional speech to the rest of you, and I look up at Blythe, and it's sort of a pathetic almost look with the big eyes and just snot and tears, kind of like me in real life right now because I'm so attached to these characters. But I've kind of come back to the world somehow, and I'm looking at Blythe and pleading with her.
Yeah, but just wait. Ernie, where were you that you talked to him? You said you came back with a message for Harvey. Where were you guys?
I didn't even move. He was just standing there quite suddenly, really.
Like here? And she kind of like gestures to the porch.
And he points to the general area where Sasha was standing, more in that area there, but he said he knew exactly where we were.
Why do you ask, Blythe?
It was different for me. I didn't get to see you guys. I saw Harvey a few times. But I didn't get to, like, come out. I don't know what that means, though. And she just turns to Harvey. I don't think it's permanent.
I don't know what to think anymore, really.
It can't be. It just, I won't stop. I won't allow it. You guys did everything for me. And I'm 100% positive that he was the ringleader of it all. He helped come up with new ideas or whatever. And I will not stop. I will not sleep. I won't eat. I won't
Must
rest.
not sleep, must warn others. I don't think any of us are going to sleep anytime soon.
I'll make it right. Even if I have to do it single-handedly, I will.
Oh, but you don't have to.
No, because we're gonna do it together, like we always have.
I stand up from my porch step, and I'm still carrying him. But I turn towards Blythe and kind of gesture with my head towards the house.
Yeah.
Can we talk for a minute, kid?
Yeah.
I turn to the rest of them, not even fully realizing that I'm or coming to terms with the fact that I'm holding a dead body and it's kind of gruesome in a way, but we can talk about this, figure something out. I give an awkward look to Henry, but mostly glaze over him. I need a bit of time. Don't let Jerry bury him yet. I'm gonna
It won't.
right. Right. And I walk into the house and gingerly set him on the couch in the living room. I can't really look around too carefully. My eyes skim over the decoration and everything that we had talked about, so perfectly placed. But assuming Blythe follows me, I walk over to her and lick my lips a little and hold a hand out for her to take.
She takes it.
I give her hand a squeeze, and my hand is so much bigger than hers, and it just kind of all encompasses it. And I turn and I head up the stairs, and they're carpeted, and it kind of sections off the living room with its nice wood. And we head up and go down a hall past a bathroom with a giant jacuzzi tub. And there's a door, and it's bright pink. And for some reason, even though it's an inside door, it has a peephole. And I let go of her hand and vaguely gesture to it. This is your room. There should be, if I'm thinking of the floor plan, right? I want you to
Makes
see it.
sense. She'll open the door.
And this is basically Blythe's dream room. It's a massive bed with an insurmountable amount of pillows and a huge mirror that takes up almost the entire wall. And the bed is made, and the closet is almost even bigger than the room itself. And the closet's open, and you just see a hint of outfits upon outfits and hats and makeup and anything she could have ever wanted. And even the carpet beneath your toes is that soft sort of material that you could fall asleep on if the bed didn't look so inviting. And the window is huge and goes off to a balcony that even has a little springboard of sorts, as if she wanted to just jump off and fly away. And I step in and I put a hand on the small of her back to kind of help lead her in. And I look around, and even I gasp because it's the first time I've seen it, and it's perfect.
It is. It's perfect. And she just looks around. She takes a few minutes. She kind of goes, and she'll go to the closet first, obviously. Very Blythe. Touch something, fabric, a sleeve.
You know, we never stopped looking for you, and there were times where I did want to stop, and I'd get frustrated, and I'd say, Blythe's a brat. Why are we putting all this effort into it? But it was always Sasha, you know, it was always him who... All my life, he was always encouraging me to do more and be better and to look for you and never stop looking for you. He made me want to find you, and he made me love you. And I remember we even joked once, as if society would let us, that if you stayed 16, which you're obviously not, you're grown, but if you stayed that age, we'd get married. And well, I joked about adopting you, and he said, why not? And I don't know what time is. I don't know what age we are anymore. But if you need someone, a role model, or I'm sorry, I pushed you away. But you have a home.
It's okay. He is the best of us. I knew that from the moment I met him.
If you told him that, he would laugh at
He'd
you.
laugh. I know. He thinks he's so broken, when in reality he's the very piece that brought us all together. You guys thought of everything.
We
She
had a
goes
lot of
to
time.
the window. It was... I've always looked up to the both of you. You are like double the dads I've never had. And I don't know how I'm here. I don't get it. I just was one day, and all of this, and she just kind of gestures vaguely, is who knows what's real. Reality, you know, the one side of the illusion or the other. But I do know. I do know that what we have, all of us, that's real.
I walk over to you and just fully encompass you in a big hug. And we just have a cry. There's not much more I need to say other than just to hold you and cry.
Do you want to, as we fade out from that scene, back to the porch? Because, oh, you got one more thing? Okay, go ahead.
Yes.
My bad.
I gotta get my hook, damn it.
Oh, well, yeah.
Harvey, because she's looking over your shoulder now at the big mirror. My time in there, you found me. You did. I saw the worst things imaginable in there. I saw this one girl. She was in one of the rooms. There was just so many rooms and doors and hallways, and they just went on for forever. And then this one room, there was this girl, and she was young. She was so young. She was younger than me. She looked like me, kind of. Dark hair. I couldn't save her. I couldn't get in. I just watched and I screamed and I banged my fist on this. It was like a barrier. It was hell.
What
But
happened to her?
There was a guy.
Oh.
Just like me. Over and over.
I hold her a little tighter.
But I found the mirror, and then you found me. How? How'd you find me? What?
I told you we tried everything. I made a few deals. Wait a second. And I pull away and blink several times, and I've got you by the shoulder still. Did Jerry say that he saw the swap dealer?
The swap dealer?
Deals. Did
He said there was something in the shed, in the barn?
we'll unpack that later. And I give her a long kiss on the forehead. You're right. You guys are right. We've seen too much shit for this to be permanent.
Exactly. We can do this. I know how scary and heartbreaking it is, but we're gonna figure it out.
Okay. Just don't, for the love of God, don't jump off of anything else for a while.
Yeah. And she kind of just now notices her wrist still like throbbing and red and kind of disgusting looking.
I have a doctor for that.
If either of you are minus any stability, you can add 2 back.
Great. I don't know if I am, but I believe I am.
It was pretty bad.
Down on the porch, I'm going to go ahead and say that, Amari, you've probably woken up and you're going to see Henry out there. Henry, you'll see Amari. Jerry, Henry is familiar to you. Don't know if you placed that or not, but he looks like somebody you know.
I would have noticed it as I went to go dig a baby grave, but I wouldn't have said anything.
And so, yeah, if anybody has anything else that they want to do, if you two,
Dr. Kennedy,
as you notice each other, or go.
I apologize. The last time we met, I don't know if you remember or not. It was a bit contentious. Henry Greene.
Yes, the dream wizard? Something to that
close
effect,
enough.
right?
Titles are unimportant in this space. Do you have any idea as to how you found yourself here?
I was not exactly in the right state of mind to understand what was happening when we were all suddenly transported here.
Where were you previously?
Yes, I'm actually not exactly certain about that either.
The faces.
I'm sorry, Joel.
Cliff faces. Lots
Cliff
of
faces.
cliffs and
yeah. I believe that the doctor had laid claim to that territory. He had considerable power there.
Interesting.
I'm sorry. There's like an elephant in the room and I can't. And Joel just turns and looks at Amari. Okay, so we've got Mr. Fancy Pants over here, and now we have you who was passed out on the porch. I'm sorry, who are you and how do you fit into all of this? I'm just a little lost, dazed, and confused.
What an excellent question. I honestly don't really care about any of you. And I don't know why I'm here with you. But I am, so looks like we're stuck together for now.
I think you missed the most important question in all of that. Not what who are you exactly?
Yes. Please elaborate.
I can tell you new dreams.
Yeah, I don't have great dreams. Just so you know.
Because I haven't been in them. But my name's Amari. I drop in on people's dreams from time to time. That's me.
Okay, if Joel just like goes and sits by Ernie. If she is one of the bitches that fucks with me in my dreams, where people actually literally quite literally try to murder me, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Nah, murder's not fun.
No, Amari prefers chaos. She is she's being coy.
I'm glad to see you're still here.
I find it interesting that you're still here.
I know. Me too.
Doc, what the fuck is happening once again?
I'm absolutely uncertain.
You say you were with the doctor, as in Tall, flayed skin, lots of hooks, and steel.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yep, that would be the one.
The voice of pain, as he is known in some circles.
Well, in one form. I don't believe this was his voice of pain form. I think he had temporarily lost access to that.
Well, that's refreshing.
Mm.
Cliff faces.
Well, there was like a mental asylum before that, but I don't know how that's really going to help anything.
Do you remember the name?
Bergen?
Bergen Institute.
Yeah. Is it Dr. McFadden? Mr.
McFadden.
McFadden, yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, that is not anyone that I'm familiar with, although I do know the name Bergen.
Well, I've had enough weird, and Joel stands up. I'm gonna go find a man with a shovel, and Joel just starts wandering towards wherever Jerry walked off.
Thank you for your assistance, Joel. I do
Yeah, don't
appreciate
thank
the
me yet.
information. It will hopefully get us moving forward and on a better path than what we find ourselves on currently.
Throws a hand over the shoulder, and there's a little bit of like a flip off in it at the same time. It just kind of quickly passes by, and she goes, "Don't thank me yet. You could double cross us. I put bullets in your face. Just saying." And she gone. She going to find Jerry.
I think I like her very much.
Yeah, she's fun.
Joel, let's do Henry 2. Roll plus 0 for a repressed memory, please. Yeah, you didn't know you had that one.
No, but I like that one.
Oh, I didn't do so hot.
I did. 15.
You did.
Rubbing in.
Well, just with your failure and as close proximity and the fact that I wanted to do this anyway, so I didn't even have to do the roll if I didn't want to, but I throw a little bit of randomness into it. You're going to get sort of forced to watch it. And just to sort of change the dynamic, it's a real flash of a scene. However, you both see it, and for some very strange reason, you both kind of recognize the fact that you both see it. In this particular scene, you see Henry D. Greene, although it doesn't exactly look like Henry D. Greene. The hair is different. The skin tone's a little bit different. The dress is certainly different. They're not wearing clothes that you even recognize. And he's standing next to a tall man with similar features, but you both recognize them as the doctor, dressed almost the same way that this Henry D. Greene character is. And from Henry and the doctor's perspective, they're looking at a very large blue dog with 3 eyes.
Sorry, you broke up on me. A very large blue what?
Dog. When I say very large, I mean it is like
The size of an elephant?
like taller than an elephant.
It's Clifford the big red dog, but it's blue and with 3 eyes.
Yeah. And
So cute.
it,
What a coochie coochie boy. What a good boy. He's the
Is that
best
Joel?
boy.
it looks as it is in some sort of defensive posture until you hear Blythe's voice say something. You don't exactly know what the words are that she says because it's a different language. However, you do recognize the word Urbat. And that's the end of that vision. Yeah, just clues. I know, confusion. You have to sort that out. Food for thought. Anybody else have anything that they would like to do while we're here at the Dream House on this first day before we bury Sasha?
Henry will wait for Harvey to come out of the house.
We eventually do. I'm guessing at about the same time, unless Blythe wants to stay back for any reason.
Solid.
Yeah.
We had a good
And
moment.
I've put a blanket over Sasha, and I almost picked him up again, but instead I just tucked him in and stepped out on the porch.
Mr. Winston, first let me give my condolences. I was just made aware of your loss. I'm Henry D. Greene. I do not know if you remember me or not.
I do.
I did not come here to torment you or call in any unpaid debts. I find myself here, same as you, without explanation, it seems. I will not ask for forgiveness, but when you were speaking earlier, you said something that caught my attention. You spoke to someone and they told you that your beloved is gone for good.
Yeah, honestly, when I went to talk, I thought it would be you. There's like a strange tension when I say that, and I look obviously very distrusting.
Listen, I know that you have no reason to believe any word that's come out of my mouth, but
I really don't.
if you're speaking with someone else, well, perhaps I can assist you with that. I ask for nothing in return.
Assist.
This isn't a conversation that we need to continue currently. Just please know that I am happy to work on it.
Sure, man. Fine, whatever. We'll talk about what assist means later.
Yes, please do not burden yourself with anything on my end. You have more than enough on your plate currently. This place seems quiet enough. We should be able to hide out here for a while without any disturbances.
Yeah, we wanted something far away.
Yes, and that's why I made sure that this home was here for you.
To be honest, I don't know if I should thank you or hit you. But I don't really have the energy to do either, so we'll just...
Please, allow me to excuse myself.
Great.
And he turns and walks down the porch and heads back down to to the pond. He sits and turns the Adirondack chair back around toward the water and sits down.
I won't drag us through the whole burial process unless somebody has some role play left in them. I think we've touched on just about all of the different emotions tonight. And a little bit of clues, I suppose. Now is the time to regroup and think of what comes next. I'm sure you'll all have interesting dreams tonight. Well, those of you who actually get any sleep. Amari will sleep like the dead. And
Too soon.
what's that?
Too soon. Curtis. Too
Oh,
soon.
sorry. Yeah. Well, anyhow. Then I'm going to say that's going to be the end for tonight. We're at a hair over 9 without the break. So thank you, players. You did an amazing job. All of you, considering everything that's been thrown at you. And yeah, let's see what we don't have any show going on tomorrow. We do have on Sunday, however.
Finally, we're back together again.
We are back with some happy little faces.
I am no longer in the mountain. Well, I'm still in the mountains, but I am not doing it Sunday, so we're not paint our faces.
And I am not at the beach getting sloshed.
I want to be in both of those places, but only after.
But instead, you're going to be on the TTRPG Theater channel on Sunday at
Sunday.
Noon
Central.
You got
That's
it.
when we do the thing with the brushes and the paint. on
Yep,
the
we're
face
doing
and-
a thing. I really had an idea in my head, but then T-Dorf was like, what about aliens? And so now I'm rethinking everything.
Oh no, aliens.
So
I like
get
it.
ready.
I like the I like what you have
Green
on
paint.
tonight too. That's pretty good.
Thanks.
Yeah. What's all those look like wings?
I winged my eyeliner. Get it?
Ah. Yes,
Slapper.
I get it. I love it. Awesome. Yes, I think we all need a little happy little faces too. The way my week has been and the way Duke's week has been. You're gonna be able to tune in at Duke, or you got to work on Sunday.
To work all the time, every time.
Like,
Yep.
It's like dartboard. You tell me.
I love that.
Right.
I so want to. If I can, I will be there 100, but
Yay.
we'll see what Sunday holds.
It's
Yes,
the place.
I'm trying to take Sunday off. I'm trying.
I think you
We'll
deserve
take all that we can get.
Deserve it.
It is the place to be.
Treat yourself.
Krista, Jaylee, and Erica will shine that day doing hopefully some alien face paint. And then Sunday night will be the return of Wrath and Tears. We didn't get to have them last time. That was my fault. I was not having the best of days that day. However, they are coming back, and they are such a great and wonderful group of people. Very supportive of me and us and all that we do, and they are very excited to come back. And so if you don't get to check anything else out, you need to check that out Sunday night. For sure. That'll be at the same time we do our thing, 7 p.m. Central. So they've got cannibals and incest and all sorts of wonderful great stuff on that show. So you need to come check that out. It's lovely. Oh, they're terrible characters.
Deep cult stuff.
Yeah, but the players know they're terrible characters, and they're all very safe about it. So I've learned a whole lot just through the safety part that they go through. It's a great show. If you haven't checked it out, you need to. A whole lot of really good cult packed into a show twice a month is all they can do. And so I don't have any other announcements. Do you guys have anything going on out in the world that you want to tell people about? No, nothing. Well, then, as was given to us by Blythe way back in the day, we want to say good night, sweet dreams, and we love you.
Good night.
Good night, sweet
Love you.
dreams.
Good night,
Love
good
you.
night,
Love
good night.
Good night, sweet dreams. We love you.
Can I
Let's see.
shoot that motherfucker in the face?